Storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft.
We'll begin with the spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What will
he has a look of power and of madness. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. A party of adventurers has just entered his domain.
Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it.
Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle towers. But Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, or perhaps a lone wolf fills the midnight air.
You'll be free if you truly.
The Master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner. You are invited.
All right. Good to see you guys back again. We are continuing with the exploration of the castle of the Silver Dragon, Argynvostholt. And last we met, the party fought off a group of giant spiders who had begun nesting in the southern part of the castle, leaving Dorlith standing out over the body of a giant spider he had slain, and Artie stepping out from the room and dejected, almost upset that he's now messed up his nice clothes. He shakes a bit of spider blood off his boot and says, "Let's keep moving." You are free to do as you wish.
Well, Artie, it was... haven't seen spiders that big since the swamp. I mean, not always a welcome sight, but kind of reminds you of home.
Oh, let's get on with it. Can I try one of the doors across the way?
Yeah, you certainly may. Yeah, go ahead. Which one are you going to? Over here? Or are you talking over up here? Okay.
Right up here.
Sounds good to me. The door opens to a wood-paneled den that has been ransacked. Give me just a minute there. There we go. The furnishings have been tossed about, and a cold, dark hearth dominates the west wall between two narrow windows. Standing upright against the north wall is a sarcophagus made of black wood, with a queen's effigy carved into its lid.
What do you suppose that is?
I'll go ahead and light the fire with prestidigitation.
As you approach to light the fire, a fire erupts on its own in the dead hearth and assumes a fleetingly draconic form. The fire flickers and snaps violently, but you can clearly see that it hisses, crackles, and unfurls a set of smoky wings. The dragon hisses at you. "My knights have fallen into darkness. Save them if you can. Show them the light if you cannot. Do not let the Silver Order be lost." And with that, the fire burns out. You notice that the hearth is still cold.
Okay.
That was something. Artie, do you know anything about these silver people?
It's the Order of the Knights that ran this castle, isn't it?
Is it?
Can I roll a history check?
You certainly can. Go ahead and roll it.
14.
Yep. You'll remember that this area of the region was dominated by the Silver Dragon Argynvostholt and his order of knights called the Order of the Silver Dragon.
All right, Artie, I appreciate it. It rings a bell, yeah. Sure does.
I'll go ahead and come look at the writing on this.
On the okay, give me a second. Yeah, the sarcophagus in the back.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me investigation.
19.
19. You don't notice anything on the sarcophagus itself, but you do notice marks of what looks like sliding door about 10, 15 feet to your right, pushing into the wall of the next room. It looks like some kind of sliding door operates here, but it's hard to see on the wall. Maybe it's a secret entrance.
Okay. You got any ideas, Dorlith?
What do you see?
I'll point out the markings.
Now that you mention it, yeah. Huh. Are you talking about over here?
Over here.
Oh, over here. Okay. Dorlith will go over there and look at the tracks and kind of look a little closer.
What are you looking for?
Any way to I'm assuming that it could be a door. Any way to open it or line the grooves or something?
There doesn't seem to be a way to pull it from your side, but you may be able to push it open.
Okay. I give it a push.
You open up to a wine storage room. 5 barrels lying in wooden braces along the walls. And an old, frail elf now toppled over on the floor who must have been hiding in here. You must have knocked him down when you opened the secret door next to him. He looks afraid.
Oh, Artie, there's someone in here. Dorlith will be super cautious and kind of have one hand kind of held a little bit, like off to the side, and kind of reach down and kind of help the individual up.
He seems to be hurt pretty badly, but nothing grave. He accepts your assistance and thanks you, asking how you found him.
Who are you?
He seems a bit skeptical and he's slow to answer, but he realizes his situation and answers that, my name is Savid.
Oh. Artie, do you recognize that name, I guess, maybe?
I don't think I would. Can I use a medicine check and possibly offer one of the healing potions?
Yes. No medicine check necessary if you're going to give him a healing potion.
Okay. I just wanted to see the nature of his wounds, or if it's just being like locked up, or that was what the medicine check was.
It seems that his wounds didn't come from a fight, but they're more consistent with like running recklessly through the woods or something. Like he seems to have been scraped up and mishandled.
Okay. Yeah, I go ahead and offer him a potion.
He takes it gratefully and says, "Thank you, young man. How generous of you."
What? How long have you been here? What information do you have of this area?
Because just a day or two. I don't know much about this area, but I came from the Vistani camp in Vallaki.
Okay. What news of them do you have?
He says, a few days ago, I was tasked by the leader of the Vistani camp with finding a lost girl named Arabelle. And when I couldn't find her, I figured he'd kill me. So I ran here, and I've been hiding ever since.
I look at Dorlith. What should we do?
DM, would we recognize that name as the child that we found in the coffin maker's shop?
Yes, indeed. That is Aragol's daughter.
Does this gentleman look to be wearing Vistani garments?
Yes.
Okay. And Dorlith will kind of pat him on the back and say, well, you were kind of going the wrong way, friend. We also were tasked with the same mission, I guess, to find Arabelle. We did, and she was returned safely, but your troop left after that. They just picked up and left.
He says, curious. Maybe I'll head back across the land to Kretsk and settle myself in an inn there somewhere safe.
Is this Vistani looking, or do they have any weapons or anything like that?
Yes, he's got a few raggedy old weapons and a bit of armor. He's got a short sword and a raggedy longbow made of some strong branches.
Hmm. Who is, this might sound like a weird question, just go with it, friend. But, who do you serve?
He says, me? Oh, an old elf like me and knows that there is no one to serve but yourself. I don't serve Lord Strahd, if that's what you're asking.
If it would be in your best interest to not have Strahd around, would that be something that you're willing to fight for?
He thinks for a moment. And he says, an old elf of 400 years has no business fighting, but maybe I've lived long enough cowering in the shadows.
Well, we've been tasked to come to Argynvostholt is to find someone that might assist us in that finality. Would you be willing to accompany us in this place? And then after, we can help you get on your way to start the end of your life in peace. But you have to get out of this place somehow, and there are a lot of creatures about, and Dorlith will kind of point to some spider blood that's still probably on him.
You make a good proposition. As I said before, what better a way to die than on your own 2 feet? 400 long years is more than enough for this old soul.
What do you think, Artie? Does he fit the bill?
As long as he's willing to fight on our side, more numbers. By the way, DM, if you drank the potion, it's 8 health points.
Add that to him.
Not great, but I'll go ahead and walk down the hallway, tapping the barrels to see if they're all empty.
As you do so, Savid, he tells you, oh, no need to even check those. The wine turned to vinegar and evaporated long, long before you were born.
Shot, Artie. Dorothy will clap Savid on the back and kind of usher him forward.
Indeed. So he'll go with you. Where do you want to head?
Artie, the front man. Where to?
I think Artie will pull the water skin out of his bag and take the last drops of the wine purchased in.
No, Savid said there is no wine left.
Yeah, no, I had some in a water skin.
Oh,
There'll only be a few drops left, but I'll trinket and put it away.
Okay.
Try this door over here to the right.
All right. This room is a kitchen, but it's been plundered and destroyed. The floor is littered with rusted utensils and smashed crockery. Narrow windows flanking a hearth look out over a cemetery, and an open iron pot hangs from a hook inside the blackened fireplace. It rattles on its hook and bobs up and down as though something is inside it.
How long have you been hiding here? And what do you know of this place?
He says, only a couple days, and, well, I knew very much of Argynvost back when he was alive, when he was more than legend. This castle has stood for centuries before Strahd came along. He approaches the rattling black pot, and with his short sword drawn, he opens the lid and out flies a bat that seems to have found itself trapped inside.
You said you were sent out to look for the child, and then we found you. And you've been here for 2 days just hiding in a room. And Dorlith will kind of look at the messiness of him and the scratches and the what you described, and it'll kind of like nudge. How'd those come about? Looks like you were in an awful hurry.
As I was moving through the woods in this direction, I was attacked by twig blights. Strange little magical creatures, little bits of trees brought to life by latent magic in the air. They attacked me, but due to their size were mostly harmless, so I defeated them and moved on, but not without sustaining a bit of damage from their numbers.
Can I take a shot at the bat?
Sure, go ahead and roll to hit.
Hey.
Nat 20 for 29.
Yeah, that'll hit, yeah. Don't even roll me damage. You'll kill it.
Okay.
And so the bat will be fluttering around in the corner here, and then you'll fire an arrow into the corner, and the arrow will cut through the body and strike the wall behind it, leaving the mangled corpse of the bat in the corner of the room on the floor.
Good shot, Artie.
I'll walk over and pick up my arrow, my skewered bat, put it back in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn to our new friend and say, what does he want to do when he gets out of here?
He says, settle somewhere, calm and relaxed. I've got no more business adventuring. My young years have gone, and my athleticism has far overstayed the welcome of my years. Maybe a farm.
Well, it doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Why don't you lead? I'm not eager to run into a room with spiders again.
You're talking to Dorlith or the new?
Yeah.
Okay. Dorlith will take out the hilt of the Sunblade and just walk to the south over here and try these doors.
All right. A 20-foot long table with sculpted dragon legs stands in the center of this hall. The chairs that surround the table have backs carved into them to resolve folded dragon wing, and several of the chairs have been smashed to pieces. Suspended above the table is a crystal chandelier that glows with a soft white light. Standing in windowed alcoves are two life-size statues depicting knights with dragon-winged helms and shields. Rainwater trickles through cracks in the ceiling, flowing west down the wall and adding a large puddle to the floor. 5 sets of wooden doors, one to the north, two to the east, one to the west, and one to the south, are on this hall. A pair of leaded glass doors, their panes cracked and broken, stand open between panels of stained glass set into the east wall. These panels depict silver dragons in flight. Beyond the glass doors lies a dark, misty room to the west that appears to be a chapel.
The statues look interesting, Artie. You think there really were dragon knights?
Anything's possible. People worship Bahamut.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Hey, Matt.
It's been crazier things.
Can I take a look at this statue just to kind of remember it for future?
Go ahead and roll history.
$26.
Yeah, you won't recognize the statues, but you can draw a conclusion that these were probably some kind of revered order of honored knights that served Argynvostholt.
Okay, I'll probably draw it in my journal later.
All right.
How many chairs are in this room? Trying to get an idea of how many stacked up here.
7 of them intact, maybe 3 more destroyed.
Okay. I'll grab Dorlith's attention and point towards his hand and say that the fireplace told us we might have to show the people the light.
Very true. All right, let's take a look in the chapel. Looks like, anyway.
As
What
you
weapons does our friend have? Just like
just a short bow and a short sword and a long bow.
okay.
And some thin leather armor.
Okay.
As you open into the
I'll,
chapel, you see cracked wooden pillars supporting a wooden U-shaped balcony that hangs overhead. Narrow archways lead to spiral staircases that curl up to the balcony on the north and south. And the door set into the north wall has a wooden beam barring it. At the east end of the chapel rests a stone altar flanked by iron candelabras. The altar is carved with a rising sun bas-relief. Tall, arching windows set with panels of stained glass decorate the walls behind the altar. One of the windows has been shattered, covering the chapel floor with shards of colored glass and allowing thick fog to enter and fill the room. Through the fog, you see an armored figure kneeling before the altar.
I'm gonna send my bird out the window.
What was that?
I'm gonna send my bird out the window just to fly around outside.
Okay. Is it looking for something?
Just any sign of anything else around this area. Any reason why the door would be barred on the inside?
Nothing of note, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting a good look at this individual, or attempting to from my distance, that's kneeling. Is there anything other that we can glean from them other than they're just wearing armor or anything? Is any more like description of visage?
Give me perception from where you're standing. So 1, 2 perception. No penalty, just perception.
18.
You can see that he's wearing tattered chainmail that probably wouldn't afford much more protection than a regular set of leather armor. There is a long sword on the ground in front of it. And there are 2 more sets of tattered chainmail armor next to him with long swords lying on top of them, but no one in them.
Dorlith will look at Artie, put a finger up to his mouth, and I would like to attempt a stealth check. Basically, just gonna go stealth.
All
When I
right.
do what I do next.
And can I prepare an action?
You certainly may. What are you going to do?
If there's any sign of hostility, I'm going to use catapult, which is a level 1 spell, to select an object and throw it up to 90 feet. And I'm going to choose the swords.
Okay.
But I'm going to upcast it, so it's going to be 2 of the swords.
All right. You got your ready to action. What are you going to do?
So
I'm
Dorlith.
staying put.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm staying put.
Okay. Dorlith is going to walk up over here, kind of slightly off to the side between the pillar and the wall, and look at this figure still kneeling, sun sword at his side, readying in case any kind of movement, just to have it flare. And he'll say, "If you value your life, do not move. We just want to talk."
The figure, with its back still turns to you, stands slowly, dragging the sword up off the ground, and is murmuring to himself. Give me perception, both of you.
18.
20.
Okay, both of you can hear him. He murmurs at first, and he's hard to hear, but as he continues speaking, he gets louder. He says, interlopers, you pretenders, king killers, you will pay. And he wields his sword and turns toward you, Artie, because he doesn't see Dorlith.
Yeah, that's hostile enough for me. I'm gonna grab the 2 other long swords and pull them towards me.
Yep.
All right. How does damage work for that? Because it's not a regular attack roll.
Well, no, I'm not trying to cause damage to him. I'm trying to pull long swords 90 feet in this direction.
Oh, for you to wield or what?
Just Spider-Man pull away from him.
Can you pull all 3?
Unfortunately, no. I can only pull 2.
Okay, so you'll pull 2, and
He's holding his, so I'm just gonna grab the other 2 and drag him across the floor over to here.
Okay. He looks straight down the way and sees Savid at the end of the hall, and begins approaching towards him. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oof.
Fair enough.
Dorlith, remember, for each of your actions and movements, if it takes you into his line of sight, you'll need to roll stealth against his perception.
Okay.
Got a 20.
Ah,
Oh,
man.
Yikes. Our Revenant will move first. We have 30 feet on a 10-foot square. So he'll move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to here. And as he crosses here, he glances at you, Artie, while still closing the distance on Savid. But he doesn't attack. Artie, it's your turn.
And these are glass?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
All right, and that gives everyone advantage on him, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Make sure to make your concentration roll if you take damage, right?
Yeah.
All right. We are on to Savid, seeing that he is being aggressed upon very quickly, will raise his longbow and attack twice. He'll do something you've probably never seen before. He'll pull 2 arrows from his quiver, notch them both at the same time with 3 fingers, and fire them both in the same motion. Both attacks will hit. For a total of 8 piercing damage. And it'll be your turn, Dorlith.
Dorlith is going to move up here and with the sun sword begin to swing as the blade begins to radiate out of the hilt, and he'll swing that 2-handed at our friend there.
I'm assuming the sun sword deals radiant damage, right?
It deals yep. No, it deals
Is it radiant or slashing plus
so it
radiant?
does slashing plus radiant. So it does 1d10 plus 4 slashing, and then
Okay, and
a d8.
Is there any bonus to undead?
Yeah, just a d8 on top of that for radiant.
All right, well, go ahead and roll to hit.
I did. Let's see. I don't know why it didn't show. Let me look. 2 hit. I don't know why the campaign log's not showing. Let me. There was a 15, and then an 8.
Oh yeah, it hasn't finished rolling your to hits yet. That's weird.
Which is, yeah, that's odd. But yeah, 15 and 8.
Okay, so obviously the 15
Well, that's-
hit.
That's only the first attack is advantage.
Oh yeah, and then give me your second attack too.
Okay. 15 again, and a 14.
All right, those both hit. Give me damage twice.
Okay, so 6 plus 8 is 12. Sorry, 12 plus 6 is 18 points of slashing damage. Plus, let's see, that was D8 radiant. Double that. 2d8. 7 points of radiant damage.
All right.
And that was both those attacks. And then can I bump a divine smite in there as well?
All right, go ahead.
Get it here. All right, give me 1 second.
No worries.
Oh, there we go. When you hit with a melee weapon attack, you expend spell slot. All right, so let's see. Nice. And I'm going to use a second level spell slot for this divine smite. So that's going to give me. All right, plus. It's going to give me 3d8 radiant damage. 13 plus 4. What is that? 17 points of radiant damage plus an additional one because is he undead?
Yes.
Okay, so that would have been 4 plus 3.
God damn.
Yes, 20 points of radiant damage on top of all that.
All right.
And then Dorlith will just slide over here and say, I mean, I guess you don't value your life or lack thereof. And that's the end of Dorlith's turn.
All right. We're back around to the Revenant, who very suddenly will turn and shift his momentum almost in an unnatural way, as though there was no momentum to begin with. He'll turn and return your attacks with not with his sword, but with his fist. He turns around and swings at you twice. The first will be an 18.
That hits.
And the second, a 22.
That hits as well.
You'll take 11 total bludgeoning damage.
Okay, perfect.
And that'll be it for its turn. Artie, we're on you.
Okay, I'm gonna fire 2 rounds at it.
All right.
22, which is actually a 12, sorry.
Oh.
And a 27.
Mhm. Those will both hit.
Okay. Uh, 16 damage and 5. 21 damage.
All right.
Heck yeah.
And I will pull back to here.
Okay. That's going to be it for your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Savid will take the opportunity to notch another 2 arrows and fire them at the Revenant. First will be an 11, The second will be a 19. Only one will hit for 7 piercing damage.
Does he have advantage as well because of the fairy fire, or is it only melee?
Good, yeah.
Okay.
Second, I'll re-roll that first one. That'll be a 19, so he'll hit on that one too.
Hey.
For another 9, so that gives him another 9 piercing damage for a total of 16, and that'll be his turn. Dorlith, it's on you.
Dorlith will take the sun sword again and kind of do like an uppercut slice against him.
Right.
Is a 24 and a 24.
All right.
That'll be
So
For
24.
your first attack.
yeah,
24
just a
hit,
first attack.
my friend.
Yes, and then 12 points of slashing damage and 5 points of radiant damage. And then the second swipe that he'll take will be like a shoulder crossbody diagonally down. Just kind of flow across for 21 and 22. That'll be
That'll hit too. Give me damage.
10 points of slashing damage and 5 more points of radiant damage.
So 15 total.
Yes.
All right.
And then Dorlith will bonus action. He'll move back over here, just kind of moving back and forth in the between the columns, slicing and stepping, and that'll be the end of his turn.
All right. Our Revenant here, as you move behind the column, he will, almost as though he has no object permanence, he'll just forget about you and lurch across the room into the corner, standing over Artie, and viciously plunge his fists in Artie's direction.
Wanna
Just
get a-
furiously letting punches fly.
Get an attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Okay. That one.
That'll hit. Yep. Give me damage.
Crit
Damn.
fish here. Okay. Nope. Okay. Just checking. 8 points of slashing damage, and then radiant damage is gonna be max 8 points of radiant damage as he steps
Alright.
away. And Dorothy will yell, "Artie!"
And Artie will barely have a second to catch your warning before he is met with a fist approaching his stomach. The first attack is going to be a 26 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
and the second will be a 17.
Okay. I rolled a 20 and a 19 for concentration.
Okay, does the second one hit?
What was it?
17.
No, actually it doesn't.
Okay, so yeah, the 26 hits for 10 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
All right, and you rolled what for your concentration?
20?
Well, that'll do it. All right, it'll be your turn then.
I'm gonna actually lower my crossbow. I'm going to tell him that we are not interlopers, that we have come to seek the aid of the Order of the Silver, and that we aim to stand against Strahd. that we are capable fighters and that we have equipment to carry out the task that we aim to achieve.
Okay. Give me persuasion.
Okay. Can I cast guidance as?
Can you cast guidance as a reaction?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
19 for the persuasion check plus D4, which is 4, so 23.
Yeah. He'll relent momentarily. You can see it in his face. His grimace turns to one of sorrow, and he cries out. It's almost as though you're seeing two sides of the same person at the same time, fighting against each other. And as one side cries out in rage to trying to destroy you, and the other screams out to you don't know who, and swears that he has failed his master and that he will vanquish the Kingslayers.
I could be wrong, but I think that's the end of my attempt, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't know whether it succeeded or not yet. But in the moment of hesitation, Savid has an opportunity to step into the doorway and fire another 2 arrows. (15 and a 23). Both arrows strike true, and a look of shock fills the Revenant's eyes as it stumbles for a minute and falls over and dies.
That about. Dorlith will walk over, pick up the 2 long swords. They're long swords, correct?
Yes.
He'll pick them both up and he'll put them over his shoulder into a little hole in his the edge of his backpack, and he'll just push down and you'll hear him rip the backpack rip as the long swords just kind of get held in place. But who do you suppose the Kingslayer was?
I don't know. My guess is he was a soul out of time, and he was referring to the army that invaded the castle. A bird will fly in the window and rest on this candelabra.
Oh. Did these long swords look anything special or anything like that? The ones that I'm holding, or walking over to the one he's holding?
No, but they're very, very old. You can tell Savid wasn't lying when he said Argynvostholt was abandoned long before you were ever born.
Well, Dorlith will take up that long sword and hand it to our new friend. Say, you mind holding on to this for us? Wouldn't want him coming back and trying to find us if that's a thing that happens. This place seems to have some weird magic or something. Go ahead.
Is there no body?
There is.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna ask for Dorlith's help in moving him up to the altar.
Will oblige.
Okay. I'll go ahead and set him in the middle. And then taking a moment, I'll cast Mending on the 3 different sets of armor.
All 3 sets of armor return to their former state of repair. Artie, as you do this, you recognize iconography and orientation in the room. Because you're familiar with the region of Barovia, you can conclude that the god in question that these iconographies are made in reverence to is called the Morning Lord, the god of dawn.
The Dawn Father?
Just
Oh.
the Morning Lord.
Okay.
Dorlith will pick up one of the it's chain mail or chain shirts?
Chainmail.
Chainmail. He'll grab up one of the chainmail and offer it to Artie. He would like it.
Turning to our new friend, I'll ask him what else he knows about this place. I'll take the armor.
And as Artie asks the new fellow the question, Dorlith will take the second set of chainmail. And as Artie asks that question, Dorlith will walk toward Sefik and hand him the new chain.
You want Savid to put the chainmail on?
Yes, he said what he had was a little oldish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Kind of hands it out toward him and gestures to put it on.
He'll do so, raising his AC to 16,
Nice.
but giving him disadvantage on stealth.
Well. Artie, you asked him a question.
What else he knows about this place?
He says that the place was abandoned and many have come trying to take what riches they can salvage from the place, but rumors have said that they've been stopped by ghosts.
Okay. Can I take a moment to look around the room, either with investigation or religious purposes, to see if there's a way that I can kind of set things right, I guess?
Yes, there's some shattered glass in the corner that could probably use swept up and disposed of.
Dorlith will assist.
21st. I'll go ahead and take probably about the next 10 minutes using mending around the room to fix the support beams, the windows, and then try to do a religion check if you'll allow it to light some candles and observe, because due to my history with Barovia and possibly observing
Yeah,
not
certainly.
really having a direct connection, but having some experience with the church there.
Do you make a prayer?
Yes.
What do you say? And to whom?
Just to ask for guidance, that his light guides our feet through the mist and the shadows, and seek kind of a blessing, and that we can restore the lands. That
Go ahead.
I have eternal optimism in the face of the dark times, and that that I'm just seeking guidance and his blessing.
You hear a voice. Dorlith, you don't.
Can I assist him with the religion check by putting my hand on his shoulder and kind of walking him through a little bit of the religious aspect?
Yes. You'll both hear a voice. Savid will not. But you'll hear an older man's voice tell you, my guidance will be your path to victory. You, guardian of the dawn, will now make your offering upon mine anointed altar. Allow my word to guide your blade to its throat. Blade and scabbard part ways only at my command, and when you see my light, will use it to make yet another final offering to the Morning Lord.
I'll look back at Dorlith.
Dorlith will nod and kind of like nod in the direction of the altar for Artie. Artie, what melee weapons do you have on you by chance?
Well, I have a rapier, but I think he might want the sunblade.
Well, I mean, if we both have something, Dorlith will take out his rapier that is intricately filigreed and inlaid with some silver, and he'll hand it to Artie and say, here, this might benefit you a little more than it will me.
Okay.
And so
Are
now,
we trying both blades?
yes, and Dorlith will take out the hilt of the sunblade and walk up with Artie. Place on the altar.
You hear the voice again. He says, this darkness, this infestation, they will slaughter the people of this land no more. The inevitability of your blade will be delicate, defiant, insatiable. You will feed this blade with the blood of the evil, and return here to make your offering to me.
I will be done.
I'll reach for the rapier.
Dorlith do the same with the Sunblade.
As you take the blade, he says once more, repeating what he said earlier, he says, when my light guides you to your target, let blade and scabbard part ways, and make your offering upon mine anointed altar.
Is there any extra benefits that we can glean from these weapons?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Well, I guess see what happens. Check out the rest of this building. What do you say?
Yeah. Let's take a look at the rest. I think the graveyard might be a good place to start.
Dorlith will gesture to. I'm sorry, I keep saying his name as Sefik. What was his name again?
Savid.
Savid. Okay.
Like a David with an S.
Okay, I got you. Sorry.
No worries.
Gesture towards Savid to follow Artie.
He follows, and you head out into the cemetery.
Yeah.
Tucked behind the mansion is a fog-shrouded cemetery enclosed by a 7-foot-tall wall of wrought iron. In the northeast corner stands a mausoleum. You suddenly feel as though someone is watching you.
Looking at these stones as I walk through, is there any kind of markings or anything on the stones? Or would that all be kind of worn away at this point?
Yes, they're all faded and worn. You can make out certain letters, but no specific names.
Okay, perfect.
That feeling of being watched, can Dorlith kind of lean into that and attempt to think of insight, perceive, whatever you want to get this, pinpoint him, I guess. I don't know really how to say it. Discover if what is looking at him.
And roll perception.
Okay. And my rolls have stopped for the night. 9.
Out of the corner of your eye to the east, you swear you can see a figure standing in the window watching you, but when your eyes snap to it, no one is there.
Said over here? Oh, over there?
Yes.
Okay. My eyes might be playing tricks on me, Artie, but there might be someone in there. Sefik, draw your blade. Or Jesus. Savid. Yep, Savid.
Can you just put the name? Can you just name the token?
Sorry.
I certainly
I'm
will.
horrible with them too.
That's why I kept going, the new guy. Okay.
There we go.
Sweet.
I'll go ahead and try my hand at the door.
I'll stand just off to the side.
Go ahead and roll me a strength check.
Oof.
Uh, 18. I rolled a 19.
All right. Well, the door takes a bit of muscle to come clean off, but it does, and as it does, you sort of discard it off to the side of the mausoleum, and on the back wall you can see a transcription. Does anyone read Draconic?
I do not. Does Savid?
Are you asking me, or are you asking Savid?
Savid, do you speak whatever this is? Can you read it?
He comes over and takes a peek for himself and says, "Oh, certainly, this is ancient Draconic, much more common in my heyday." Yes, it says, "Here lie the bones and treasures of Argynvost, Lord of Argynvostholt and the founder of the Order of the Silver Dragon." How majestic. There's nothing here, though. The bones aren't here, and there certainly isn't any treasure.
Is there anything in the room?
Nothing.
Okay.
Someone steal his bones?
Well, we saw the vision of his bones being at the castle.
Right.
Strahd has mounted his head like some prize in the dining room.
Yeah. I feel like
That's,
it should be on our list to return that skull. It would only feel right. But
we're also coming back here for the altar anyway,
yes.
or I intend to. Well, let's search upstairs quickly.
Savid, add that to the list. And Dorlith will begin to walk away. Inside.
And where will you head once inside?
Just want to try up the stairs. Is there anywhere down here, Artie, that you still wanted to look?
No, there's the shrine stairwells north and south. The two towers to the south of the castle were pretty much battered, but we didn't check the top two. North two.
Trying on our way
But
back
I'm
down.
okay. I'm okay coming down those, yeah.
Make our way up the
Making my way.
stairs.
Up those
Making my way.
stairs. Those stairs will take you here. This wooden balcony overhangs the chapel. An exquisitely carved wooden throne rests at the west end between two doors, and narrow archways lead to spiral staircases going up and down. Hanging from the high ceiling is an iron chandelier with candle holders shaped like tiny silver dragons.
Dorlith will walk up to the chair, kind of stand behind it, and look down over the balcony.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
No, just getting a viewpoint of anyone who would have sat in this chair and what specifically they would be looking at, assuming that it was the altar for like during services or whatnot.
You can see down into a large chapel where an altar may have held sacrifices before, but nothing strange or out of the ordinary.
Right. There's a door here. Before going any further, can Dorlith listen at the door?
Yes. What are you listening for?
Well, really anything. Since this place was supposed to be abandoned and Savid was potentially the only thing here. However, with who we're looking for, any noises of voices or footsteps or scuffles or creature noise, just anything on the other side of the door that he can hear, just to get a insight of what may be beyond.
He says, or you hear dripping water, slowly dripping water.
Well, Artie, Savid, forward. Dorlith will attempt to enter.
Just a moment here. You see a couple of open alcoves in a large hallway. Red velvet curtains hanging in front of alcoves and nothing of interest in them. But two doors ahead of you and two hallways, one on either side.
Stay with the south.
Yeah, we've already cleared it downstairs, so.
Try this door here.
Is there any indication that there was ever anything in these alcoves? I know a lot of stuff's been filtered and whatnot.
Anything that could have indicated that has been covered in dust that has settled over years by now.
Yeah, okay.
This room contains an iron tub and has wood paneling on the walls that rises about 3 feet. Above the paneling, the walls are painted with a continuous faded mural of a mountainscape. You can hear water dripping from the other side of the wall.
Savid, keep note of where this is. You kind of stink. Continue forward. Toward the hall.
Looking at the mural, does it give me an idea of what landscape marker that might be?
Yes, the mural depicts the mountain range that dominates most of Barovia, the Balanok Mountains.
Okay. I'll, knowing that, I probably would come into the room and dragging my hand across the wall, probably cast mending to try to get some of the paints to pop again.
And they do. The colors are brighter, more lifelike.
Stepping out, I'll close the door.
Where are you headed?
To the south there.
All right. As you head out in this direction, you see tombstone balconies flanking the main foyer. Balusters, carved to resemble knights in shining armor, support their elegantly carved stone railings. Weapons and shields festoon the walls along each of these walkways, while each alabaster bust of handsome men flank a hallway that leads south. At the west end of the balcony is an archway that leads to another spiral staircase going upward.
Oh, there's another floor, Artie. Check inside this area here.
Through the mostly destroyed doors and walls, you can see that these are two ruined bed chambers. The south end of the room is collapsed, exposing the chamber to the elements. A few furnishings lie broken under fallen debris from above.
Can Dorlith go in this room over here and just kind of sift through the debris a little bit and see if there's like any notion of who might have been there, or personal effects, or really anything that could give it more information about this place or who was here.
Investigation?
Yes. $22.
All right. Well, you find nothing of interest in the furnishings of the room or the remains of them, but you do find something very interesting. A set of claw marks on the ground in the middle of the room. Too large to be an animal's, but too small to be some dragons. And near them, you notice the shimmering of a single lock of blonde hair. One single strand, tinged red with a drop of blood.
Does it look fresh?
Relatively, in relation to the castle itself, very much so.
That color of hair, would we recognize?
Yes.
That's just what I thought.
Same color hair as Ireena.
Dorlith will take note of it, leave the room, go look for Artie and relay that information. Savid close behind.
I'm just using my foot to push around splintered wood.
And what do you have to say when Dorlith gives you this information?
Not knowing, not ever meeting her, but only being told about her by the party. I'd say it's probably imperative that we finish our search through the castle quickly and try to follow any lead that we can find before the trail goes cold.
Dorlith nods. Do you want to go across? Okay.
I'll go ahead and open this door.
This door is where you hear the running water emanating from. Rainwater seeps through the cracks and the ceiling and flows into a pool on the sagging wooden floor. The pool fills about half the room, and bare stone shelves are lining the walls.
Okay. We going north?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This T-shaped hallway has branches to the west and east. 3 arched windows in the north hallway look out over the foggy grounds. There's a door on your right and a bedroom door on the left before you head into the hall.
Dorlith will wait to go down the hallway for Artie to. I'm assuming they're walking over to where they are right now, to those doors.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and open it.
Just a minute here.
Sorry. Would you like me to get bread?
We're going in this door here.
Yes.
Okay. The contents of this room are draped in cobwebs. Between curtained windows stands a black marble hearth with a sculpted mantelpiece, above which hangs a framed portrait of a handsome, well-dressed man with a wry smile and a thick mane of thistledown hair. Opposite the fireplace is a large bed with a rotting mattress and wooden posts carved to resemble dragons. Across the room, from the double doors, stands a tall wardrobe, its doors hanging open, revealing a dark and empty cavity. The only other piece of furniture is an overstuffed leather chair that faces the hearth. As you enter the room, Savid recognizes the portrait. He says, one of the dragon Argynvost's many guises. The noble Lord Argynvost. Very good. He looks fondly over the portrait as though he knew the person himself.
Know who that? Do you know that person?
He says, indeed I did. A good man, a noble, a relic of a finer time before the darkness. Just a fond memory now.
It's unfortunate what happened here. Hopefully once we finish looking for who we're looking for. And Dorlith really hasn't mentioned the name in front of Savid yet. And he'll finish saying, hopefully we can close this place off to anyone and just let time take it back.
He says, an admirable decision. I hope you're right.
So do I. Artie, is there anything you'd like to do in the room?
No.
Okay.
Actually, Can I ritually cast Detect Magic and then catch up with them after they get done in the next room?
Can you ritually cast Detect Magic?
Yeah.
And do what with it? I'm sorry.
It takes 10 minutes, so I'm expecting that they're going to move on, and then I'll catch up with them.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Savid and I will move on. Trusting that Artie won't die.
I'll send my bird with them.
All right.
Okay.
So you're headed into this room here?
Yes. And
right. The door to this room hangs open. 2 beds with torn canopies stand against the opposite, with a tattered rug lying on the floor between them. Set into the far wall is a fireplace filled with black soot. A soft hiss issues forth from the hearth. As you enter closer into the room, a small hissing dragon made of ash and smoke erupts from the fireplace, filling the room with soot as it beats its wings. Smoky dragon flaps its wings in the corner and eyes you both warily.
Dorlith will look at Savid and Dorlith will just raise both of his hands, showing that there's nothing in them. And then basically put one forearm across his stomach and the other forearm across that arm and just give a low bow. Kind of like a hippogriff, right? Or not a hippogriff, hippogriff, right? Not breaking eye contact, just giving the bow and maintaining eye contact. Showing that we mean it no harm.
Indeed. The creature continues to watch Savid warily, but seems to be much more comfortable with you.
And Dorlith walk over to it, gently, gingerly.
It shrinks away further into the hearth, seemingly not wanting to be touched.
And Dorlith take out a ration and kneel down on one knee and just kind of reach out slowly.
As you do so, the dragon comes forward to move and to try and take the ration from you, but instead it freezes and falls flat in the middle of the fireplace, disappearing into a cloud of smoke, and from it, a face, an older, grizzled man, one with battle in his eyes. He says, "Let's spill forth into the valley of Barovia, your rage like a flood," and then disappears for a moment. Before the smoke settles, it begins reforming again.
Into the dragon?
No, into another figure. You can't quite tell yet.
Okay. Oh. Dorlith is, while it's forming, Dorlith will kind of real lightly near the ground, his hand will be just off the ground. He'll kind of frisbee the piece of ration out toward where the smoke was as the dragon, and kind of stand up and just continually just keep his eyes on the hearth to see what happens with the
now you see
the
a different now you see a different vision, almost as though depicting what's being spoken to you. Slowly the smoke forms into an imitation of a dark flood cascading over the valley of Barovia. It disappears and reforms into a blade crashing down on the mountains. And you hear the voice again. The whetstone awaits. Bring your violence like a wave against mine stones.
Dorlith doesn't do anything, just continues to watch and see if it shifts to any other vision.
You see as the blade strikes the mountains. As the blade strikes the mountains, the what's the word? The chip from the blade, the tip of the blade breaks off and spirals into the air, falling downward again into the heart of a man that you recognize very well, Lord Strahd von Zarovich. Voice says once again, a familiar refrain at this point. Let blade and scabbard part ways, and bear your violence like an offering upon mine altar.
Recognizing now that the voice is the voice that he heard before with Artie, Dorlith will give like a slight nod, furrow his brow, give a slight nod of the head, and continue watching.
As the smoke disappears, you see a man, not a real man, but an imitation of one. It's the same grizzled, battle-worn face that you saw before. This is the Morning Lord, and he speaks to you not in parables or in song anymore, but he speaks to you as man speaks to one another. He says, "The one you seek has been taken from here by the one you seek to destroy. Go forth to the towering castle and cast out the darkness within. You have made yourself a covenant to me in exchange for the power I may grant you. Your offering awaits at Castle Ravenloft." And then he disappears.
The little smoky dragon still there?
No.
Nuts.
But now there is a thin film of soot on the ration you offered to it.
Yep. I'm gonna leave the ration there.
Okay.
Dorlith will turn around, look at David, and Dorlith's eyes kind of go wide as he rushes back out into the hallway. Has it been 10 minutes?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Rushing around the corner, probably meeting Artie. Dorlith will exasperately, like, Ireena's been taken. She's not here anymore. She's at Castle Ravenloft. Strahd has her. And Dorlith will begin to just sprint down the hallway and haphazardly just like check in everywhere super fast that he can get, because the Morning Lord, he believes what the Morning Lord says, that who we're seeking is not here anymore, that Strahd Artie, that Strahd has her. And Dorlith would have relayed that to Artie, and I guess before he began to sprint away, he'll wait for Artie to reply to something.
No, I'm good with that.
Okay.
As you would have rounded the corner, you would have seen me messing with the rapier you gave me, checking it with detect magic, and then being pulled away from it with what you had stated. Watching you
Very
run up and down the
end of your
hall.
spell- At the very end of your ritual, you detected a very, very strong surge of magic from the room, which caused you to rush out and run into Dorlith. You can assume the surge of magic was the appearance of the Morning Lord bringing himself to Dorlith.
Okay.
Savid says, from what I'm gathering, we are heading Castle Ravenloft for a final confrontation. I don't doubt your abilities, but I do doubt that I'll be sufficient enough to help you if you are not enough to complete the mission on your own. Do you have any other allies you may be able to bring into this final confrontation?
If you can reach out to, do you know where Van Richten's tower is?
I certainly do. It's been there for decades.
Of course, if you can find Van Richten and Esmeralda and tell them of our interest current, then we would be much appreciated to have their blade.
He says, certainly. How long? We will meet you at the gates to Castle Ravenloft, but it needs to be all at once. We need to, like your patron said, crash forth like a wave. It must be a sudden attack if we wish to defeat the Dreadlord. We may not give him a chance to prepare.
Dorlith will kind of look over at Artie, give a slight shrug, as in, what do you think?
If we were to leave straight out, how much travel time is it?
Straight to Castle Ravenloft from where you are. Give me a moment. I'll pull up the map for you.
Because I'm thinking of taking 2 additional days to prep.
From where you are here to Castle Ravenloft here.
Can you click
Really?
and wiggle?
Like this.
Oh, okay. I see you over here on the left. Got it.
All the way to Ravenloft here.
Okay.
I mean, 3 days travel with no prep. Unless, of course, the mist slows you down.
Yeah.
Oof. That is a ways.
Yeah. I think 3 days' time needs to be 5 days, which might be better if it's just a week.
Do you think Ireena will be safe for that long? With what Strahd has planned for her? Yeah, I think 5 days is good.
Okay.
Savid, 5 days time. We crash like a wave upon Castle Ravenloft.
Who holds the Tome of Strahd?
Dorlith.
Dorlith.
Yes.
You feel a warmth in your pack where the Tome of Strahd sits, and Artie, you feel the surge of magic as something has been magically added to the tome.
Dorlith will walk next to Artie, pull out the tome from the satchel, lean against kind of like close against Artie. And like their heads would peer over the side of the pages, and Savid will complete like the triangle peering down at the book.
Mm-hmm. The three of you see on one of the blank pages a new entry, not a diary or a threat or a lamentation, not even an invitation, but almost a declaration of victory. You can hear Strahd's voice in your head. I have studied much since the sun turned against me. Little can harm me now, and even the stakes that these people have tried to drive through my heart has not stopped me from my goal. You take that awful sword from me that Sergei brought, and you dispose of it for me. Take it away from the depths of this wretched castle. I have hunted for Tatiana for decades, centuries, lifetimes. But now, I have felt her once more within my grasp. No longer does she evade me. No longer does she escape me. No longer does she taunt me. Now, I will turn her love to me, or I will turn her destructive hatred on the rest of this land. I will have what I deserve, or none of Barovia shall have anything. And that's the end of the entry.
Dorlith will slowly raise his eyes to Artie and Savid and say, well, shit. And snap the tome closed and put it back in his satchel.
I'll reiterate 5 days' time.
5 days.
With that, you have resolved to meet at Castle Ravenloft in 5 days, with you on your way to make your own preparations, and Savid on his way to go find Rudolph Van Richten and Esmeralda Davenir. You should spend the 2 days of extra preparation time that you have gathering any reinforcements and finding any weaponry that you think may help you defeat Lord Strahd, as this seems that in this final confrontation, there will be a winner and a loser. At this point, you have advanced into the third and final act of Curse of Strahd. So I think now's a good time to pause. Let me know where you want to head for the next stop before you head to Castle Ravenloft. And that's where we'll go next session. Of course, and then straight to Castle Ravenloft in the next session.
Okay. Vito, do you have any ideas or messages you would like to try to get delivered?
Well, I'd love the Vistani to assist, but I'm not sure with... What's that?
I don't think they're going to show up.
No, I don't think so either. We tried to talk to them and get them on our side, but it didn't quite go the way we thought. Honestly, Van Richten and Esmeralda were the only two that I could really think of to call forth. Would you know anyone?
I can spend a couple hours prepping some alchemy potions, and we can figure out which ones I make and how long I have to do that.
Yeah.
I would also like to send message to the werewolf camp, and see if they can reach out to any capable fighters that want to be free.
Since we kind of ended the Burgomaster's reign, I guess, over Vallaki, how long do you think it would take us to convince the able-bodied individuals of Vallaki to go do this, to storm the gates? Do we have enough time for that?
Are you asking me or
To Artie, how long he thinks that we would need to, if we were to even attempt something like that, because he kind of knows the people of Vallaki a little bit.
I don't know how fighting capable they would be.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a try. But we would have to understand that we're probably using them as fodder or a distraction.
Probably not the best idea if we want to have them live afterward.
Plus, we need to realize that anyone we reach out to that we don't know and trust could send message of our
Yes.
plans before we arrive.
Right. I think we should be okay with reaching out to the werewolf den or the werewolf, wherever you're sending it to, the message to, and then Van Richten and Esmeralda have some experience with this type of stuff. Is there a
I might be able to reach out to the one sorceress from the tower.
oh, okay.
Emika.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure where she went, but it would be nice. DM, can we... Weird question. Can we, as DM NPCs, pull in some old friends for the battle? Or is that not a thing?
I think we can make that happen.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll write them I'm not going to write them character sheets. I'm going to write them NPC sheets and I'll run them as NPCs.
Okay.
It's going to take some time though. So I may not get them all done by the end of the week, but you will have the strongest ones of your allies will be there. You'll have, Jukal, Alora, probably Bach. Yeah, you'll probably have those three. I may get more, but
Okay.
you'll definitely have those three.
Reach out to them as well. Should be a nice little...
We're getting the band together.
Yeah. But 5 days time.
5 days indeed.
Artie, where would you want to go during these 2 days to prep?
I'm prepping for one of them is just going to be an incident backup so that we arrive at the same time.
Okay.
Because that's 3 days from where we are, not maybe from where they are.
Yeah.
And then 1 day actual prep, be it crafting or enchanting or whatever.
Do you want to do it in Argynvostholt? Or do you want to go back to your house?
I would like to go back to my house. I would like to check on our guest.
Yes.
See how his book reading is going. I'd also like to research the library and see if there's anything I can find.
Dorlith can assist. Sounds like a plan.
Is that on the way?
Kretsk? No, it is in the opposite direction. It's to the west. Or no, not Crest. I'm sorry, Vallaki. Yeah, it's on the way. What the fuck am I talking about?
So we
I
end up
was gonna say I didn't know anything about Crest.
this way. Right, we take the Ode.
Old Svalich Road. Yep.
Yep, and then curl our way around and take the gates down.
Indeed. I think that's a perfect place to end today's session. We'll think about and discuss in the chat what y'all want to do.
Yes.
Figure out a plan.
A quick question. It's been a while since we've leveled.
Yes, you just reminded me. You finished Argynvostholt. Y'all turned to 7 now.
Hey,
Or
let's
no?
go.
Hold
7.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Go to
10.
8.
10, right?
Go to 8. Yeah.
Okay. Easy enough.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
So we'll do that over the
Yes.
next week as well.
Works for me. All right. We'll see y'all next week.
But yes, I look forward to it. Yeah, that's that.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see.
Under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft.
We'll begin with the spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What was
He has a look of power and of madness. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. A party of adventurers has just entered his domain.
Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it.
Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing through the castle towers. But Strahd is gone. Only the howling of the wind, perhaps a lone wolf, fills the midnight air.
You'll be free if you truly.
The Master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner. And you are invited.